Bible Study Notes, Genesis 29 through 32. Genesis chapters 29 through 32 continue Jacob's journey and reveal how God works patiently through imperfect people, strained relationships, and difficult seasons to fulfill his covenant purposes. These chapters highlight themes of perseverance, divine justice, transformation, and God's faithfulness despite human weakness. Genesis 29 begins with Jacob's arrival in Haran, where he meets Rachel and quickly falls in love. His willingness to work 7 years for Rachel reflects devotion and hope, yet Laban's deception mirrors Jacob's own past actions. Instead of receiving Rachel, Jacob is given Leah. This reversal teaches a powerful spiritual lesson. Deceit often returns to confront the deceiver. God uses this experience to humble Jacob and reshape his character. Despite the injustice, Jacob continues to work faithfully, demonstrating endurance even when circumstances are unfair. Leah's story reveals God's compassion for the unloved and overlooked. Though Jacob does not initially love her, God sees Leah's pain and opens her womb. Leah's repeated pregnancies show that God values her deeply. Even when human affection is absent, Leah's naming of her children reflects her longing for love, acceptance, and divine recognition. Leah's lineage ultimately becomes central to God's redemptive plan, reminding believers that God often works powerfully through those the world disregards. Genesis 30 intensifies the rivalry between Rachel and Leah. Their competition for Jacob's affection and legacy exposes the dangers of comparison, jealousy, and insecurity. Yet, in the midst of chaos, God continues to bless and multiply Jacob's family. This chapter demonstrates that God's purposes are not hindered by dysfunction. Though the family structure is deeply flawed, God remains faithful to his covenant promises. Jacob's dealings with Laban regarding wages further reveal the tension between human effort and divine blessing. While Jacob attempts to influence outcomes through selective breeding, Scripture makes clear that it is God who causes Jacob's flock to increase. This teaches a vital truth. Prosperity does not come from manipulation, but from God's favor. Human strategy cannot replace divine provision. Genesis 31 marks a turning point. God instructs Jacob to return to his homeland, signaling the end of a long season of hardship. Laban's pursuit of Jacob highlights unresolved conflict, but God intervenes directly, warning Laban in a dream not to harm Jacob. This divine protection emphasizes God's sovereignty and covenant faithfulnesses. God shields Jacob not because of perfection, but because of promise. Genesis 32 brings one of the most transformative moments in Jacob's life, his wrestling with God, alone and fearful about meeting Esau. Jacob encounters the Lord in a deeply personal struggle. He refuses to let go without receiving a blessing. God renames him Israel, symbolizing transformation and a new identity. Jacob's limp becomes a lasting reminder that encounters with God change us permanently. Strength is often born through weaknesses, and blessing comes after surrender. Together, Genesis 29 through 32 teach that God works patiently through struggle, corrects character through experience, and fulfills his promises in his timing. These chapters invite believers to trust God's process even when the journey is difficult.
I am blessed, I am blessed. I am blessed, I am blessed. I am blessed, I am.